Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Peter. Can you tell me your full name, please?
It's Cao Thứ, but you can just call me Thứ.
And can you tell me where you're from?
I'm from Vinh City, Vietnam.
In this first part, I'd like to ask you some questions about yourself. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I'm currently living in a house. I've lived here for 15 years, ever since I was born. It's not very large, but to me, it's the coziest place on earth, and I just love it a lot.
And can you describe your house?
Well, as I said, it's rather small. It is a 3-story house, and there's a lovely garden on the second floor, and it's my favorite place to be. I just feel completely relaxed, and I feel like myself when I'm there. And there are also a lot of rooms in the house. They are not very large, but every one of them serves a particular purpose. And well, in general, I can't live with anywhere but my house.
And what's your favorite room?
Well, it's hard to choose because I kind of love every room in my house. But if I really have to, that would be my bedroom, because it is where I get the most privacy. I do everything there. Like after I come home from school, I just stay in my bedroom most of the time. I study there and I sleep there, and when my friends come to my house, they're also there with me. It's a useful room, and it's also really meaningful to me.
Do you think you will live in this place in the future?
I hope so, but in Vietnam, women, when they get married, usually live in the house of their husbands. So I don't think so, but I really want to.
Thank you. Let's move on to talk about animals. And do you like animals?
I love animals a lot, especially dogs. I think they're super adorable, and they're honestly a friend to humans.
And why?
Well, I don't know. I just think it's what everybody thinks, like who doesn't love dogs? They're just extremely cute, and they also help us when in a lot of situations, and they're soulmates of humans. They're always with us. Yes. It's okay.
What's the most common wild animal in your country?
Well, it's not my expertise actually. I don't know much about the animals. Let me see. Wild animals. I think pigs are. I'm just guessing, honestly. I think wild pigs are really kind of popular because people here usually eat wild pigs, and I've tried it. It's really delicious.
What's the most popular pet in your country?
The most popular pets are dogs or cats. I've seen people have them as pets in a lot of houses.
And what are the benefits of having a pet?
Wow. The benefits are immense, honestly. Firstly, people with pets are definitely not lonely at all, because pets are their friends, and they're always with them, and they're kind of obedient, and also when they're in trouble, pets to me are a really good source for them to share their stories, even though they don't understand. And pets are like dogs are very clever, and they actually do help people in many situations.
Now I'm going to give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. And before you speak, you have 1 minute to think about what you're going to say, and you can make some notes if you wish.
Okay.
Here's your paper and pen for making notes. And here's your topic. I'd like you to describe a time when someone helped you. Okay, so remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for this, so don't worry if I stop you and I'll tell you when your time's up. Can you start speaking now, please? Okay.
I would like to talk about a time when my friend helped me before a very important exam. It was last year, and when I had to take an extremely important exam to get admission to the high school that I love. And there are so many there are so many things to memorize, and I was actually suffering from a little bit of depression because my families had some kind of issues and my parents were fighting, and also school was extremely hard. I had a lot to memorize, and I was in despair all the time because I couldn't figure things out. And then there she was. She came to me and helped me everything. I was never a close friend of hers, but she actually helped me a lot, and till this day I still appreciate her help a lot. She not only helped me in my studying, but she also she is a really close friend with me. She is extremely kind-hearted, and she listened to all of my stories that I shared. Well, the result was completely amazing.
Thank you.
What?
Thank you. So, do you think it's positive for people to help each other?
Yes, I think of course, it's obviously positive because in life there will definitely be times when you're in despair, in a lot of trouble, and you don't know what to do, and that is the time when you need help the most. So.
Thank you. So we've been talking about a time when somebody helped you. Now I'd like to discuss with you 1 or 2 more general questions related to this. So let's talk about some people who don't deserve help. What sort of person do you think wouldn't deserve help?
Well, I think in most cases people deserve to be helped, but people such as criminals, I think they don't deserve help at all because they're the people that don't help other people. They harm other people. Then how on earth can they deserve help, right? And
do you think other types of people, like dishonest people or people who don't help others, they don't deserve help?
Yes, I totally agree, because I think it's a kind of exchange. If you help, you can only deserve help if you help other people first. And those people, in my opinion, do not deserve to be helped at all unless they change.
And generally speaking, who do you think is responsible for helping people? Would it be the government or people help each other?
I think everyone is accountable for helping other people. The government, firstly, the government has to take the duty of helping its citizens because they're in the highest place, and it is their shared responsibility to do that. And at the same time, helping other people, I mean, it's not compulsory, but it's morality. It is just extremely crucial for people to help each other in this society.
Can you think of any examples where it's solely only the government's responsibility?
I think it's probably health services. Most governments provide free health services to its citizens. I think it's the case that only the government could do because it is large scale and a lot of money has to be spent, which is what people cannot help one another.
What's your opinion of charity organizations? Do you think they do a lot of good?
Yes, definitely. I totally agree. Charity groups are plays an extremely crucial part in our lives. There are a lot of people in need, and they do a lot. They contribute to the society a lot by giving them a hand, which makes the society a bit better.
What about the type of people who work for charity organizations? Do you think they do it because they want to help, or it makes them feel good?
I think both, yeah.
Do you think they do it to feel important and feel good, or they really want to genuinely help people?
I think they have a sense of, I think they do feel better when they help people, and that's why they do charity. And I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Some people, they work for charity organizations for selfish reasons, yeah, because they want to feel good, or it looks good on their CV. Do you think? What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think it's wrong, because I mean, they need it, and it actually helps, right? Because they're participating in the organizations, and it helps the society. So I don't think it's that wrong if they do their best to partake in the organization. But I think it's definitely more meaningful if people actually do charity to help people in need.
Thank you very much. That is the end of the speaking test. Thank you. So, how was it? What did you think?
I probably didn't do my best. I really believe that is not everything I can give. I was kind of nervous, and it's really difficult for me to come up with ideas, and I was at a loss for words at some points.
Yeah, it's quite common for students to think too much, to think of their answer too much. But just try to be natural and just answer whatever comes in your mind, because it's not a ideas test. It's not a test of intelligence or ideas. It's straightforward language test, yeah? So you can have weird ideas, that's fine, as long as you just keep speaking, yeah? Now, in part one, I thought was really good. Your vocabulary was great, cozy and stuff like that, some nice vocabulary. Good description of your room, good description of why you might not stay there in the future. Yeah, and I think that was just about really good. What did you think?
Yeah, I think I was kind of pleased with part one. Yeah.
Animals was good. The topic, I thought your description was pretty good.
Oh, I was surprised.
Really? What?
Yeah, I didn't think that you said it was good.
Well, you talk nicely, and you have, again, good vocabulary about how to describe dogs. Yeah, you said they were obedient, man's best friend, and stuff like that. Part two, now don't be upset if the examiner stops you, yeah? If the examiner says, like, stop, that means your time is up. And the timing is very strict throughout the whole test. So it's quite common for students to be interrupted, even in mid-sentence, yeah? So don't be upset. That's actually positive. If you get interrupted, that means you've spoken for 2 minutes, which is positive, okay? So yes, your description of your friend was pretty good. Again, what did you think?
Yeah, I'm actually not so pleased with part two. It was kind of repetitive. I repeated many words and phrases. Okay. It was also the ideas were not connected. Yeah, I also had a hard time coming up with ideas. And if I can't come up with ideas, I can't continue talking. So okay. I don't know.
Well, part three I thought was your strongest part. Yeah, you had good ideas, and you were able to speak at length, willing to speak at length about these ideas. You described how people can help each other, charity, etc., etc. Now, if you don't understand the question like you did before, or like you did here, it's always positive to ask the examiner to explain or repeat, or ask a question to clarify what you're being asked. So that was a good technique, okay?